Hey guys, welcome back. This is still lesson 5, second part of lesson 5, when we are creating a vector mug or vector cup. In previous lesson, I have shown you how to create your own reference using Revolve tool inside Illustrator, and today we will look at how to finish our illustration. Okay, so basically I have my reference here inside Illustrator, and I will just work with outlines for now, and I will try to match basic primitive shapes to my illustration, which means a couple of ellipses for the top, for the rim of the mug, and then I will basically again just draw the outline, mirror it along the vertical axis, and we will work from there. I have already prepared an illustration I have showed you before. What we will have to do is just really match the perspective for the mug and use Pathfinder tool to create necessary shapes. For example, I want to have in the illustration the liquid as well, because we are working in black and white, probably coffee. So what I'm doing right now is I just want to divide two paths. I basically copied the ellipse on top of each other. I will use divide inside Pathfinder to get rid of part of the ellipse, and we can work from there. Basically, we are not using any advanced or difficult tools here. Again, it's just a couple of simple ones, and apart from these basic shapes or primitive shapes, we will again use blend tool to create shadows, and in the final part I will just draw like simple line, let's say logo or illustrations for the front face of the mug. This might be a good time to talk about refining your basics, because again and again I'm repeating just like a couple of basic not like workflows, but steps to achieve different illustrations. And I really think that it is good for everybody to go back and really work on the basics and on your foundations. Surely it helped me a lot in my own development. Of course, when you are starting with illustrations, what you want to do is to do like kind of flashy things and some crazy stuff you can find inside of programs. I still remember when I the first or second time I opened Illustrator, I almost immediately found some tools which I thought were cool, like lens flares and stuff like that, which I never ever used again, to be honest, and thank God to it. But for example, I don't know, like 2 years ago I went again back to the Illustrator, and I really started to learn about pen tool and how the Bezier curves are constructed. I read a couple of technical articles about it, and it helped me a lot. I think like the best people in the industry are those who can do a ton of stuff with just a couple of simple tools simple tools. For example, if I watch like high-level artists, they can be drawing in black and white with one simple brush in Photoshop. They are still able to do stuff that I would be working for like 2 weeks to complete, and it still wouldn't look that good. So back to the illustration. What I'm doing now is I'm creating a shadow beneath the rim of the mug. Quickly joining the path, and what I actually managed to do when creating the original illustration of the mug, I have as my own reference. I by accident created like a highlight on the rim, which practically like shouldn't be there, but it looked really cool, so I kept it there as well for the for our tutorial. So now I'm just like creating this kind of like fake highlight, which for some reason looks really good. Like time to time it will happen that you get these happy accidents, and probably it's not really good to just count on it that it will happen, but if it happens, it's really nice. Okay, coffee break. Cool. You could also see that on the previous illustration, I have like a really thick rim. That is the same as we will do in the next illustration for vector skull. The thing is that we are doing again black and white stuff. So if my mug illustration is white, I want to have something that will separate my illustration from the background. So that is why I'm using really thick outline. Basically, it's not like a 30 pixel thick stroke. I am drawing a new solid shape behind my illustration. So the basic shapes are done. What I need to do now is to create shadows, one extra highlight on the surface of the coffee, and then, as I said, just a simple line art on the front face of the mug. So again, for the shadows, we are using blend tool. You could imagine that I have a light source on the right side of the mug, which will illuminate the right side. So I want to have shadow on the left side. So right now I'm just like figuring out the number of steps I need for the shadow to be nice. Also, what I want to do next is to create a clipping mask on top of the blend with shadows. Cannot tell you exactly why, but for some reason I really like when the sides of the mug have still like white space or highlight, and the shadows are not going completely to the side. So what I did is I did an offset of the path to the inside just by I think like 14 or 16 pixels, and I use this shape as a clipping mask for the shadows. Now for a while I made a mistake because my shadows are on top of the clipping mask, which is wrong. You need to have the clipping mask always on top. So I move it to the front of or to the top of the layer stack. And you can select both of those shapes and with shortcut Command and 7 or Control and 7 if you're on Windows, you create a clipping mask. I just adjusted shadows a bit so it matches nicely the shape on the bottom, and now the rest is just creating a highlight on top of the coffee and a shadow inside of the rim of the mug. Okay, back to the basics. As I mentioned before, if you want to study more, let's say work with primitive shapes or with pen tool, I could really recommend the Skillshare class by Jessica Hish. It's one of her, I think now she has like a lot of classes, but in the beginning on Skillshare, she had like a lettering class where she really worked precisely with pen tool. She went like in depth how the pen tool works, where should you put your anchor points and why, how the handles on the anchor points kind of bear the weight of the lines and the shapes. And that class helped me really a lot. Similarly, there's an awesome class as well by Aaron Draplin. I think it's his Vector Logo class where he shows you how to very quickly and very simply use primitive vector shapes to create logos. And he as well like really nicely works with the pen tool and with different kind of like warping and copy pasting the objects to create more complex illustrations, I would say. So definitely check those two classes. They're really awesome. Okay, I have my vector mark almost done. So I just need to create the line art for the front face. You could see I just kind of resized the circle, because we are looking at the Mac from the perspective. So the sides are not the same, the height is not the same as the width. I made it a little bit wider to fit it more precisely on the face of the Mac. Yep, like super kind of minimalistic illustration on the front. And as a final step, I think I'll be creating this like thicker outline to separate the illustration from the background. At least I hope so. I actually had to change the format of the tutorials once again, because I realized it's really time demanding to do the screen capture at the same time, to film myself and then to like precisely match the footage. So what I did the screen capture first, and then I'm just talking on top of the screen capture. Hope it's actually better. I think I have like more time to talk about kind of like principles and more important stuff, and just saying, yeah, I'm clicking down this and I'm doing this. So hopefully for me it's more interesting. Hopefully it's the same for you. And I also realized I'm really able to make the videos a bit shorter and more action-packed if I'm just focusing on the work and not on the way how I like present the work at the same time I am creating it. So right now I just like duplicated the map, and what I will do that I will unite inside Pathfinder all the shapes and just get rid of the shadows for now because I don't need them. I just need the outline of the map. I will fill it out, and I think again I will just like offset the path this time to the outside by a couple of pixels, send the outline all the way to the back or to the I always save to the back. Yeah, you can send it to the back, or you can send it to the bottom with the layer stack, which I think it's like better expression. Okay, get rid of the stroke, so our illustration is nice and clean. Offset. And basically we should be there. 15, nice. That, no, that was too much. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So we have done our vector map. You can see that what I had to prepare before and what I created just now is very similar. Just a little bit of adjustment of the shadows, and we are done. So next time we'll be creating a vector skull. It will be a little different from the previous lessons, but I hope you will enjoy it. Thanks for the attention, guys. If you like this, try to subscribe. If you didn't, sorry. See you next time.